in the book Lead With And, I've done my best to pull together what I would say are 6 unavoidable tensions to manage. Not problems to solve, because problems to solve, there's a solution. Tensions to manage. And I would say, whether you're a people leader or a personal leader, if you are trying to move things forward and you're taking on responsibility, these tensions are unavoidable. You may not use the exact same language that I would use, but the tension itself, it's like, my guess is that's part of your life, you're part of your work. So the first one is optimism and realism. And what's interesting about these tensions is that they're very much like breathing. You know, today you're going to breathe about 22,000 times, and other than right now, you won't even think about it. But breathing is a great example of a tension because you can't pick a side. You can't wake up and choose inhale or exhale. The moment that we over-focus on one side, we lose the very value we set out to achieve. And it's like something's off here. And similarly with tensions, if you're optimistic, which is a gift, but you're optimistic to the neglect of realism, no one trusts you. People feel like you got your head in the clouds. At the same time, if you're all realism without optimism, no one wants to work with you, right? So you all manage that uniquely, but the question is, can I show up in a way that is both? And here's the thing, not meet in the middle, high levels of both. I got high levels of optimism, high levels of realism. The second one I talk about in the book is embracing change, innovation, making sure most of the time leaders are the people that are helping people move forward. And yet while you do that, you got to make sure you hold on to what works. And if you're really embracing change, you want to make sure you're not providing confusion to the people that you serve. So how do we embrace change while at the same time hold on to consistency and tradition? You know, the third one is, and for some of you, most of the organizations in the room are for-profit businesses, which means that you want to have great bottom lines. You have owners, shareholders, stakeholders you're responsible to, and yet we're not in it just for dollars and cents. I mean, I know organizations in the room that say, at the end of the day, we're here to make a difference. So how do we do both well? Incredibly profitable and super purpose-driven. And for some of you in nonprofits, I would just switch the language to mission and margin, meaning that we're here to live out a mission, and yet the bottom line matters. And if we neglect the bottom line, no one wins. So how do we do both of those things? The fourth one, and this is an interesting, we'll spend some time on this in a minute. Leadership often requires you to have expectations. First of all, on yourself. How do I push myself, set the bar high? Often on others. But one thing that we're going to explore is that expectations without grace usually leads to resentment. You know, grace is understanding, empathy, factoring in real life. So how do I lead in a way, how do I create a culture that has high expectations and high levels of grace and understanding? The fifth one, and this is one that probably a few of you need to hear, because the fine print that a lot of people don't read when it comes to leading is that it's an others-oriented job. The more you lead, the more you're taking care of other people. The people that you lead on your team, stakeholders, never mind all the people you're taking care of outside of work. And yet you all know if all I do is look and care for others and I neglect what I need, I don't show up well for anybody. So, and again, it's not going to ever be 50-50. It's probably always going to be weighted on the other side, but how do I make sure I give myself what I need so I show up well? And the last one's an interesting one because leadership requires confidence. And that's not arrogance. It's confidence to say, you can trust me, you can trust this. We have something that works. But the fascinating thing is confidence with humility is arrogance. Humility isn't assuming that you're wrong. Humility is just always looking to learn something new. Always looking at what's next. And what's fascinating is when I think of leaders that I've worked with around the world, they weren't a little bit confident and a little bit humble. They had high levels of both. And that's not only positional leadership, that's coaches I've worked with, and both high confidence, high humility. So you may not all use the exact same language that I would, but my guess is that all 6 of these resonate on some level.